All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 181 of the Unknown Games podcast. This is a second take. You don't know where the first take even went. You never will. It's been erased. Actually, it's still up on the YouTube somewhere. If you find it,
It's like a special, it's a bonus episode.
it's a bonus. It's like an Easter egg. If you find it, you'll see us in a completely different way.
That sounds wrong. Sounds like we're doing something bad.
It sounds like some things we just should just never be seen. But
Committed a
anyways,
crime.
that's my co-host Alex, and I'm your host Adrian. What's up? How's it going, man? For the second time.
Yeah, it's good. Actually, it'd be so funny if I'm bad. I was good.
I was good. Now I'm bad.
I'm not good. Yeah.
So
No,
a
it's all
minute
good.
later.
Yeah.
This week we were off last week, and then we were on the week before playing some Sword Art Online, the Last Recollection, which was it was actually a pretty decent demo. It was interesting, but I'm still not buying that game. I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole. Can't.
Someone should what if someone bought it for you on stream? Would you play then, or would you be like, ah, fuck you, I'm not playing this shit?
Maybe I play until I unlock the ability to use the menu again.
But there's only 10 minutes in. Well, I mean, you gotta skip all the cutscenes, but yeah.
There was more than 10 minutes. Yeah, exactly. All the cutscenes made it even longer than 10 minutes in, the fact that I had to unlock the ability to use the menu still was something I was never expecting.
Yeah. Well,
Surprises.
it's weird. I mean, because it's kind of irritating. So, I mean, to be fair to Sword Art Online, not all PC games do that. There's some games where, the first thing you want, especially on PC, the first thing you want to do when you boot a game is to change your settings. So, this would be your resolution and frame rate and your key bindings, that kind of stuff.
Right.
There are some games that won't let you touch that until you actually start the game. So, for some people, it doesn't happen so often anymore. But with some older games where you're playing 10, 15 minutes of a game and it's in the wrong resolution and it's
You just want to.
yeah, it's the worst feeling. Yeah.
And you're stuck in a cutscene forever. You're like, I just need to do.
Yeah, it's 720p or something like that. Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, so it's going to be a pretty good week. I mean, it's been a pretty good week here in Japan. We were talking off stream a little bit, or in the first cut, about Halloween season. And then we're also talking about just the weather. It's been nice fall weather here. Hopefully it's the same for all of you. And of course, if you're out taking walks or listening to us on any of the audio podcast services like Google Play Podcast or Apple Podcast or iTunes, Spotify. There we go.
Yeah, we haven't pimped our podcast distribution in a while.
Honestly, it's been a minute. But I know. But here's the thing: I looked the metrics. I'm seeing increases on Spotify.
Spotify is also pushing podcasts so much. So if you guys are listening to us on Spotify, let us know on our YouTube channel. Yeah.
The exact
find this exact episode on YouTube. I'm thinking if you just type in Unknown Games Podcast episode 181 or whatever, it should show up.
It'll come up, yeah.
And then be like, hey, I came from Spotify. Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. I mean, honestly, we really do appreciate everyone, and we're going on our third or fourth year, 4 years, I think, because we're going on streaming for 3 years. So yeah, this is our fourth year, and we're always looking for feedback. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead, let us know what you think about what we're talking about today, which is a little bit of Lies of P. I've been wanting to talk about Lies of P since I finished the game last weekend, and I know you've been playing Sea of Stars. We got PS5 Slims out there. We're about to come out in November.
Yeah, a couple more, 10, what do you know?
It's November 11th?
November 11th, yeah, 4 more weeks.
Yeah, it's not too much more further away. The whole Activision Blizzard thing, that's done, finally. And then we were also talking about the eShops for the 3DS and Wii U. I know we had.
Well, the eShops, those closed earlier this year already. eShops already dead.
I thought it was dead, yeah.
But you could still, if you were you were able to find people, you could still play online, but that won't happen for another.
Oh, okay. The online servers are finally getting ready to give up the ghost.
Yeah, that's Nintendo telling you to buy a goddamn Switch.
If you haven't already, you might as well wait for Switch 2. I'm just saying, you might as well wait next year. It has to be on the way. It has to be.
I hope that Nintendo, to spite everyone, just Switch 2's coming. They're like, no, fuck it. Every time someone says Switch 2, we delay it by another month.
Another month, and just keep on delaying it. they really need another Switch.
There's like a counter. There's like an office. Is it in their office? There's like a little screen. Every time a journalist's like Switch 2 is coming soon, boom, it's like delay. It just like pushes it.
Straight delay every time.
Pushes it out. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I could see Nintendo doing that, and only
Just
Nintendo
to
could
spite
do
everyone.
that.
Yeah, just
only
spite
they
everyone.
could do it too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm gonna hop into some Lies of P, unless you want to go first with some Sea of Stars and just talk about your experiences with that.
Did I not talk about Sea of Stars at all on the podcast at all, or no, not yet?
No, it was at the end of the last episode, just for like 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I've been playing Sea of Stars on stream, over on Twitch, and I don't know what to say about it, man. It's fine. Like, it's a pretty good game. It's on, I don't know, it's JRPG. This is like a different discussion, but like it's actually French Canadian studio, but like
it's still a J. Well, I guess if you want to get into that whole thing of what is a
why JRPG,
why JRPGs are called JRPGs.
But in any case, it's a RPG by a French Canadian studio, and it really takes inspiration from SNS era JRPGs, I guess. So that would be like Chrono Trigger, Super Mario RPG. You could really see that. Take a look at the screenshots, take a look at the gameplay for a little bit, and you're like, oh yeah, that obviously it's pixel art, it's sprites. And the battle system is a lot like Super Mario RPG. So if you played that, or you know what that's like, you're like, okay, get it. So it's all timing based. So when you do your command, right before you hit your opponent, if you hit A again, you'll do a free follow up.
Okay.
And the same works for defending as well, so you can mitigate damage that way. The thing that is different from Super RPG, though, is that it uses a weird cast interrupt system. So there are times in battle where enemies will start doing like a cast. They'll start to charge up. And you'll see like icons above their head and a countdown to when that cast will go off. Each icon corresponds to a different attack type, and if you can manage to hit the opponent like that many times with those attributes, you'll cancel the cast entirely.
Okay.
So a lot of the boss fights are waves of like normal attacks, and then they'll do big casts. And if you can't stop that cast in time, you'll have to tank, or you have to go through like a lot of damage and heal through it or something like that. But
okay.
That's the battle system. It's just turn based with a timing mechanic, with like a spell attribute kind of interrupt strategic thing, which adds a little bit of a dimension that other games don't have. Like Super RPG doesn't have this like cast interrupt system, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that makes it a little more unique, and it definitely adds strategy to the battle.
Okay.
Makes it like its own kind of thing. In terms of just like story, though, super simple, very cookie cutter RPG, and I don't care. I don't mind that. I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm not gonna fault the game for being simple, and I think that's kind of just like what I want right now. I just want a really easy game to chill out to and not think too hard, and just like kind of get taken through a pretty easygoing story. I don't care if it's predictable or not. You know what I mean? Like, it's just fun to to go through. So that's it. That's Sea of Stars. I'm only playing 2 hours a day, 2 times a week, because I just play on stream. And I'm like slowly getting my way through. I'm like about a third of the way through the game, maybe halfway at this point. So I'll be done in a couple of weeks here. It's not very long. If I were to play this off stream, I'd obviously be done it by now.
I think it is like around a 20, no more than 30-hour game. It follows very much the like you mentioned, some of those older RPGs. It follows pretty much their time structure. So they don't want you to spend too much time playing the game. That sounds horrible, but I mean, I don't think there's probably too much replayability in it either.
I don't think so. Probably not.
You go through it once, and if you want to go back and play it, just like some of those older games, you can kind of go back and play it as many times as you want. But it's not going to be a grind fest, and they just really want you to, like you said, to have fun playing the game.
Yeah, that also reminds me, you can't really grind in this game. So the experience is not per character. It's your experience is of the party. The whole party levels up at the same time. Okay. It doesn't matter who's in your party at the time. It doesn't matter who's out of your party. Like, they leave and they come and go for story reasons. Your whole party, everyone's the same level. And there's not that many enemies in dungeons, and there's not a lot of enemies between dungeons.
Does that mean that the battles themselves, like each individual battle, is like a little bit difficult? Or like you have to think about?
No, not really. The only difficult. I mean, if you fuck up your cast interruptions a lot, you can. I have actually game over like twice or whatever, because like like I said, like it's timing based. So if you hit A at the right time or whatever controller you're playing on, you do 2 attacks, right?
Right.
So in order to interrupt some of those attacks, you have to get the timing correct. You have to do 2 hits. If you mess up your timing, you don't hit A at the right time, you don't get that extra hit, and you're not going to be able to interrupt that cast. And if you mess up too many times, you'll just take too much damage and you'll die. And I've died a couple times. But it's not that bad. I mean, I know why I died. I just kind of messed up my strategy. I messed up like how I planned out the fight. So I'm not like that upset. And there's like autosave. You don't lose too much progress. But yeah, you can't grind really, honestly. Like you'll level up about once per dungeon. That's really it.
Okay.
Like they make it so you don't need to and can't really. Like remember we were talking about FF7 Remake?
That's exactly what I was kind of thinking about how FF7 by the end of the game you could ask someone like what level you are and you would know where they were in the game.
Yeah, like everyone is basically the same level. Like if you in FF7 if you wanted to grind, it
was hard.
You have to like really you have to like replay a chapter. You don't even get chapter select until you beat the game once. So you'd have to like it would be near the end of the game where you can like fast travel and fast travel to like a weird like root area.
I think mine was in between or going to what was the name of the little small town? Crap. I'm forgetting the Honeybee Inn.
Oh, was the Honeybee Inn? That's
that path.
That's where I was grinding as well. Yeah,
that was like because like that's the only place with like a number of enemies along a long stretch that like you would go underneath the collapsed highway or whatever and like
when you're with Aerith, right?
Yeah.
That's where I would try to do it too, but you really can't really grind in
There's
FF7.
like 10 enemies.
You definitely can't do it in CS. You can't like technically, yeah, you can like beat some enemies, save your game, and like try to leave the area and force them to respawn. But the experience that they grant is so little; it's like not worth it, honestly. So,
well,
I think they really want you to just do the story,
just
honestly,
to do the story
like,
and have fun. I mean, like when I played the demo, honestly, I was just hooked on the music, man. The music was so good. Same with the Messenger, the game they did before. I mean, if I played, I can see myself just playing this on a Steam Deck before bed or something like that, and just kind of enjoying the. Just like you said, it's not difficult or anything. You just kind of chill and play and listen to the music and jam out and do what you gotta do. You know.
Yeah, it's definitely a really casual play. So I would actually recommend this. Like in the same way that like Super Mario RPG and Chrono Trigger are really good starter, quote unquote, starter RPGs for someone. CSR is kind of the same thing.
It also reminds me of like for me personally, like my first RPG that I really got into was like Breath of Fire, and like
Capcom,
Golden Sun. Like those were like the two, and it reminded me of specifically of Golden Sun.
I can see that for sure. Yeah,
and I was like, okay, this looks like it's going to be pretty good. And overall, I think a lot of people who've played the game have walked out enjoying it. It's on Game Pass if you have Game Pass.
It's also on PlayStation Plus if you are playing on a PS5.
Oh, real? Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez, it's on.
So it's free for a lot of people. Not free for me. I paid for it because I'm playing on Steam right now. But yeah. And just the puzzle. By the way, the puzzles are really easy. Like, thank God, like all the dungeons have puzzles, but they're not hard.
They're not. They're not like that one game.
Yeah. Like I don't want to talk shit about crosscode, but
I wasn't even going to mention them.
I didn't really like the puzzle. I mean, if you like the puzzles, good for you, honestly. I'm not like not sarcastically, like that's their thing. It's their thing. Those intense puzzles are like their thing, yeah. So
it's their thing. I remember you were telling me about we were talking about the next game that they're making, and it's just like, it's like it's probably gonna have the same puzzles.
I was curious. I was like, I love the vibe of Cross for the same reason I like Sea of Stars. I love the pixel art. I grew up in that era, right, of Super Nintendo RPGs. So I was like, maybe their next game will be something I can enjoy. And I like to look at their gameplay development snippet, and I'm like, nope, that fucking thing bounces off the wall. No, I know where that's going.
It was like, I already know. But I mean, so because after this, like you said, you'll probably finish up in the next couple of weeks. You also have Super Mario RPG coming out.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty good season. I mean, I think we've talked about how good of a year it's been for games. And there's a whole discussion about the opposite end for how bad it's been for developers in terms of layoffs for this year. There's been like 6,100 jobs lost in the game dev business.
Yeah, or if you're fucking Unity, or if you use a Unity engine, Unity engine. I mean,
yeah. So I mean, we're living the good days of gaming right now, but come 2026, somewhere around there, when there's gonna be a drought. There's gonna be a drought probably, but
also a literal drought. Thanks, climate change.
Oh gosh, a literal drought.
Yeah, 2026, man. We'll be dead by then, dude.
Oh man, the good old days. How far they've gone away. So that's Sea of Stars, and like we said, if you've got any of the streaming services, it's pretty much on there. Or if you'd like to buy it for, I think it's like what, $30.
It might be 30 USD. It was like 40 CAD for me actually. I think there's regional pricing for sure for Sea of Stars. I was talking to someone in my chat when I was streaming it, and they're like, "Oh, it wasn't that bad. It was like $15." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Whoa, shit!" Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's 45 Canadian dollars for me.
Oh wow!
So they definitely do regional pricing, and so depending on where you live, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's 45 CAD. You know?
Yeah, it's $34.99 USD is what I'm looking at.
Okay.
So yeah, like you said, regional pricing. If you go ahead, look it up. It's on everything under the sun. So yeah. And for me, like I said, I was playing. I'm not gonna pull up any video because I did not stream Lies of P. This is the first game I've played in a long time, just
like off stream.
Like off stream. And the reasoning was I didn't want to go into because I was playing Armored Core, and it was obviously I spent 5 hours on one boss, 2 hours on another boss. It's one of the, I mean, as much as you want to say, I want to say it's not a Souls-like, those bosses are Souls-like. And so I didn't want to play essentially the same genre on stream, you know? I kind of wanted to just break it up. I didn't want to keep dying on stream for a week.
For the enjoyment of everyone.
For the enjoyment of everyone.
Maybe people like seeing you die, though. Maybe that's why they watch it.
I mean, they still stick around, so I guess.
Have you run a poll? Be like, why do you watch me? In the first answer, just like, I like seeing you suffer. Yeah.
So I mean, here's the thing with Lies of P. I know we were talking about it when they kind of announced it years back. It's essentially it's a Souls-like, and it's the story of Pinocchio, kind of a adaptation of Pinocchio done by
badass Pinocchio. Damn,
yeah, Pinocchio over here getting ready to shoot up some people and slice them up.
It's the worst thing I've ever
heard. If Winnie the Pooh can do it, so can.
Oh, I would love a Winnie the Pooh Souls. I'm not even kidding, man. Like the fucking door's wide open. The fucking what is it? The rights are now like someone do that.
It is there for the taking. And so I mean, it's done by a Korean studio. We've got NeoWiz, and we've also got Round 8 doing the devs for this game. And I gotta say, in terms of just being a Souls-like, it is amazing. Yeah. It nails. The last time I felt like this is when I played Bloodborne. Not when I played Elden Ring, but when I played Bloodborne. And this game takes a lot of influence from Bloodborne in terms of level design, sometimes even the enemies, how they are acting. There's a lot of homages, if you've played Bloodborne specifically, that you'll you'll understand. And it's like you're looking at the template, but you're looking at a heavy modified version of it. And it's just awesome. What a lot of times when I look at Souls-like games, they don't really get the level design. They'll have like a cool combat system like Neo, right? I think Neo has really fun combat, but the levels themselves, like in Strangers of Paradise, you're just kind of going through them. It's like a linear path. You just do this, and
you can't really get lost. To be fair, I actually have gotten lost in Strangers of Paradise, but that's a different story here. Yeah.
And then for Lies of P, what they do is they have these levels just like in any of the Souls-like game or Souls games from FromSoft, where they're interconnecting, and the whole design, everything connects from the town to this dungeon that you thought was super far away, didn't even connect to where you thought it would. It ends up connecting again, and it's just really nice. The actual game in terms of the bosses are hard. I gotta say, they're difficult. I got stuck on a couple bosses for another 4 or 5 hours. See, I'm glad I didn't do it on stream. But I gotta say, what was really nice is that I never felt that any time that I did die against a boss, that it was like the game's fault or something. Like I felt like it was always fair.
Yeah.
And I felt like the bosses themselves, these kind of mechanical puppets, were really, really nicely designed, had really cool movesets. And I mean, I don't know. This is, for me, became like my game of the year. Like personally, right now, the music is so amazing. They just kind of went above and beyond with more smaller details than I would have thought. And I think if you're trying to find a Souls-like game to get into, it's by no means easy. But I will say it has a great story, and you will walk out understanding more than likely what you just played. Like Elden Ring, I can tell you right now, I didn't understand it, and most people didn't. Most FromSoft games, it's like world lore,
It's definitely like a world thing. So it's kind of, people like kind of just being kind of dumped in there, and you like really just discover everything.
Yeah.
Some people really like that. Some people don't really like that. So
this one has world lore when you pick up the items, but it also has a cast of characters that do have their side quests that you can run and do. And I definitely even remembered certain characters because I was like, dang, man, your story, I got touched by this. And I was like, man, they did a great job. It's fully voice acted. I did not cry, but there was a moment where I did just go like, sir, salute. Yeah, I gotta hand it to you. But that's Lies of P, and you do have moments, and I guess I should explain the title, Lies of P.
I thought it was Lies of Pinocchio lies because he's a liar.
Yes, and that is the whole theme of the game is.
And every time you lie, does your nose get bigger?
So this is what I didn't know, and I've been watching someone else play through it because I didn't notice this the first time I played. So the whole concept is the more you lie, the more human you become. Because humans are liars.
Because humans are liars, yeah.
All the robots in this game,
tell the truth.
They do. They're very genuine. And that's something you'll kind of understand as you go through it. But you do see your nose grow. There's awesome. 2 places you see it. One, there's kind of a portrait. It's not too much of a spoiler, but there's a portrait that the more you lie, the more human you become, the longer the nose on the portrait becomes. And there's a kind of surprise with that. But if you look at your shadow, the character's nose doesn't grow, but the shadow on the character, like the nose on the shadow's character,
gets longer.
It gets longer, yeah. So if you look at your shadow at a specific angle, you'll see the nose. Like
does it have like nose. Is it like Disney length? Like it's like 2 feet out,
it's longer. It's a sword's length at least.
It's sword's length?
It's a sword's length.
Well, that's huge as shit.
It's a long.
Wait, that's out of his nose? Out of his face?
Out of his face, yes. It goes
funny. I honestly thought they'd be a little like just like subtle, like it's still a normal looking nose, but like maybe a little big, not like fucking like.
It's just a straight up, just like Disney's Pinocchio.
Like Disney Pinocchio size.
It's like a stick, yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
And then of course, like the more human you become. Like at first, the way that he kind of his idle animation is that he has like a little tick, like a robot tick, when he's resting, when he breathes, it'll just go like tick, 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 tick when it comes down. But the more human he becomes, the more he has a more smooth, breathable motion to the point where he doesn't actually have any ticks at all. So there's like a lot of fun little details in it. And yeah, it's Lies of P. They have a lying system. I guess that's the underlying thing.
That's real life, baby.
That's the underlying thing of
that's
the game.
That's the theme of this game.
Lying,
humans are liars, yeah.
Lying and telling the truth. So you'll come to a lot of points in the game where you have to make a choice where if this is the best thing to do or if that's the best thing to do. And depending on your choice, it'll give you humanity points or it will give you like a puppet points. Like your robot points. So I don't know, I can't say anything other than it's on Game Pass if you just want to play it for free, but I say I played it on Game Pass, just give these dudes some money. I want to go back and buy it because it's an amazing experience.
Are you gonna buy it on what would you buy it on, like what platform?
Since I'm not streaming or anything, whatever, probably PC. That's what I played it on. I played it on PC, so
Right,
I'll just go
right.
back
So you have
and
the Game
play it.
Pass because you don't have an Xbox, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's out on everything, and it's
Well, not the Switch though, right?
not the Switch. Sorry, it's not out
Yeah.
on the Switch.
The Switch 2 though. Oh
Switch
shit,
2
no, it's
might be
delayed. Oh no,
backwards
sorry, Nintendo, no. Delayed it over a month.
Announced, delayed, and announced all at the same time. So yeah, if you are looking for a good Souls-like, we've also got Lords of the Fallen. I'll be playing that on stream. That just came out. Lots of good games this year. Too many.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have any questions about Liza P. I can answer them if you have any. Good old questions.
Oh man, it looks good. It interests me in a gameplay point of view, but it's not. I think for me, it's not like a game that I'm gonna go and buy. Unless it was like in a humble bundle or something like that, and I end up getting it like on disc, because that's how I got Code Vein. I'm pretty sure. Like there was some kind of it goes in a humble, bundle. Yeah, and then I got Code Vein, and then I like. Oh, you know what? Not Code Vein.
Scarlet Nexus.
Scarlet Nexus, but I actually did buy Code Vein. I don't know what made me buy Code Vein, to be honest. I think it was just the anime.
It's just the anime.
Vibe.
It was the first of their anime games.
I think I got because there's a demo for Code Vein, so I downloaded that, and I was like, you know what, this is pretty good. So then I just bought it, and then I was like, yeah, I liked it.
You played not Code Vein, but God Eater as well too. So I mean,
I played God Eater for like an hour, and I can't. I've tried like 7 times to get into God Eater, like all the different God Eaters, like God Eater 2 I bought on Vita, and God Eater Resurrection or whatever it's called, which is like the remaster of the first game, and like God Eater 2 Rage Burst or something like that, and but also God Eater 3. I've tried so many times to play God Eater of some kind. And I've never been able to like really get into it. I don't know why.
It controls differently.
I think the newer one, like 3. So I know what you mean by like 2 and probably like the remake Resurrect. I can't remember what it's called. It doesn't matter. But I think 3 was the first game that was made for like a not mobile platform, like not Vita or something like that, or not PSP or anything. So it controls better.
It controls, I think, or something.
Yeah. So it controls better by better that the camera is mapped to the analog stick, which is how you'd expect it to control, right?
Only Monster Hunter could set a standard.
Yeah, the fucking the D-pad. Yeah,
dude, I've done that claw grip. You get used to it.
I'm sure you do.
You
know, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker let you. Because that game came out on PSP, right? Peace Walker.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You could either control it by claw grip if you were used to claw grip, or they did a thing, and I thought this was smart, where the camera was mapped to the face buttons: triangle, square, X, and circle.
Oh,
so
okay.
The camera was the face buttons, yeah. And then because it's kind of like not really a shooter, but like to aim was still L, the fire was still R. And to open your menu, I believe was like up on the D-pad.
Yeah, it's not like you're playing a third-person shooter for Metal Gear.
It was like not that confusing. I really liked how they did it on PSP. Very smart. But anyways, that's totally off topic. God Eater 3 controls better.
It controls with the review. Yeah, God Eater 3. It controls.
That's on the
better.
back of the box. Controls better. Yeah. You know what game? That whole genre kind of died, aside from Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter just dominated, right? It's called the hunting genre.
The hunting genre. I mean, there was what was the other one from Koei Tecmo? Fudge.
See, the fact that you can't even think about it is proof that only Monster Hunter survived.
Why do I want to call it Odin? Something. Fudge.
No, I know what you're thinking of. You're thinking of Tokiden?
Yeah, there's Tokiden. There was like the Inafune one that was like Soul Sacrifice.
Oh yeah, so that was published by Sony. Yeah.
There was God Eater, which was the biggest of those 3.
Yeah,
and then
there was another
Hunter.
one. There was another one on Vita. It's like Vita Hunter. What's it called?
It was
on Vita. Not Soul Sacrifice, not Tokiden, not Something about Freedom Wars? Was it maybe?
Freedom, not Freedom Unite. Monster. What?
No, what was Freedom Wars? Type in Freedom Wars on Google. Yeah, it was Freedom Wars. Exactly, it was Freedom Wars. Freedom Wars. Yeah.
Who's this, Bandai or something?
It looks like this. Smells, Sony, dude. Sony.
Oh gosh, Freedom Wars. What the heck is this junk? Excuse me, Freedom Wars.
Freedom. What are you typing in?
I'm calling it Free Doom because this is Japan studio.
Yeah, it's straight up Sony. It's legitimately just Sony made it.
Because this is something you don't want to touch. That's why I'm calling it Free Doom. It looks like God Eater, but not God Eater. It looks like Persona God Eater.
It does kind of
look like Persona God Eater. I wonder if they had character designers for Persona working on this joint.
I don't know.
I kid you not. This character I'm looking at on screen right now, they look like they came out of like a Shin Megami. This game looks kind of Shin Megami like.
So yeah, so this was another hunt. So like the hunting genre was huge in like maybe 10 years ago. I would say the hunting genre was huge, right?
I think the only competition from the West was just what was the free hunting game, free to play hunting game.
What? Free to play hunting game?
Yeah, fudge. I'm gonna blank on it.
Free to play on Vita, on PC.
It should have been. I think it's like, is it PC and PS? It was a PS. I know it was on PS4 as well. This is the point where we're just like,
just typing like hunting game.
Hunting game. the podcast took like when it took an unexpected turn.
We're just like
now
fucking...
there's like too many games because now I'm just getting Hunt Showdown. That game, that's an actual game.
Yeah, well, it is. There's a huge. It was a huge genre about 10 years ago, and I think honestly, what happened was, number one, no one could compete with Monster Hunter, and once the portable game console stopped existing, like Nintendo doesn't have one, Sony doesn't have one.
You know what that just came out, and I still can't remember the name. It was the one from was it Koei Tecmo? I'm gonna look it up. Oh, keep going.
Koei Tecmo? Did they make one? Anyways, so yeah, like once the portable game console stopped existing, the genre died with it because the genre was so closely tied to the portable console. Because like Monster Hunter blew up on the PSP, right?
It saved the PSP.
Yeah, it kind of did. And then like Nintendo had their own Monster Hunter on PSP. So Capcom was making hunter games like Monster Hunter for both, Nintendo and Sony on their portable devices. And then when the Vita came out, everyone was like, I want a piece of that hunting pie. So that's what we had: Soul Sacrifice and Freedom Wars and God Eater and all that stuff. But like now, when we moved into a generation like without portable devices, like there's no Vita successor. There's no 3DS successor. You can maybe say the Switch, but kind of not really.
It's basically the Switch. I mean,
so like, there's no successor to the portable console. So the hunting genre kind of died. Also, yeah, and it's like you can't compete with Monster Hunter.
Yeah. I'm still trying to find this one. Okay, so we did have Wild Hearts. That was.
Was that hunting
this year? It was. Yeah.
Oh, it was. It did look like Monster. Yeah, it was like Monster Hunter.
Hunting.
Yeah.
It was the Monster Hunter Fortnite cross up from Koei Tecmo and EA, which actually I don't know if that game is still going or not.
I forget. It came out and no one talked about it.
It came out and it had a bunch of. It was this month, February of this year. Sorry. It came out. It had a lot of good reviews for the actual mechanics, the gameplay. The issue with the game itself was it had a lot of technical difficulties. Like there's a lot of performance issues with that game to the point where it was just negatively reviewed on Steam. I think one of the things, like, how Koei Tecmo does something where for PC games you can't really use a mouse and keyboard sometimes. Yeah. It fell in that category. It was that bad. So it they patched it and patched it. I want to say maybe April is when they got a good patch out for it, but it was like 2 months too late, especially in this season. But I actually watched this entire game played, for the story, for the gameplay. Other than the characters talking very, very slow, it's very good. I gotta say, it is not Monster Hunter. It has a really good, unique take on it, especially with the I think they're called Katakuri, which is like the Fortnite building system. It was actually really cool. It's really cool when you watch it.
Okay.
But, whether they end up, sticking around for longer or not, we'll just have to see. But I hope so. I hope they get a second chance.
Wild Hearts,
yeah.
It's just, I mean, like a Monster Hunter has something special because it's so universally liked, right?
Team
but
co-op.
It has so few competitors. Like, I mean, there's no huge competing like competitor to Monster Hunter that's like has lasting appeal.
I would honestly say God Eater was probably the closest.
God Eater was really close. God Eater could have been God Eater, and then it wasn't God Eater.
That's because they stopped making God Eater.
Part of it is part of it is they also stopped because they stopped making God Eater, but I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe they stopped. They just kind of stopped, I guess, because God Eater 3 came out and then Code Vein came out. Code Vein is not a God Eater sequel.
They just stopped the actual God Eater series.
Yeah,
is the way I see it.
I don't know. I don't think they're making a new one. They haven't announced anything. Right? What is Bandai Namco even doing now? Just fucking Tales and anime games, right?
They have Sin Duality, which is the anime that's currently airing, I believe. But also you know what? Sin Duality, I think, is a hunting like cozy game, cozy hunting sim thing.
Cozy hunting.
Sin Duality Noir. I don't know if that's just the anime name or if it's the also the game. We were like off topic. We went down a rabbit hole.
I don't even know where this is going, but yeah.
I totally have the anime. This is so weird. So for this one, it's their cross media game type thing, where the anime. I think they did the same thing for Scarlet Nexus, right? There's an anime. There's also
I fucking forgot about the Scarlet Nexus anime. Damn.
Yeah. This is the same vein where there is an
anime and a game tied together. I kind of wish, no offense, it's ambitious and I respect it, but I kind of wish they would just focus on a game. You know what I mean?
And I think Tales, that's the other thing, the Tales DLC / standalone. Well, it's not a standalone, but it's
not standalone, no.
It's like the way that they're marketing that is that it's not a DLC, but it's a DLC. You know what I mean? Like
it's like an expansion. Really.
Yeah. And then of course we're still working on Blue Protocol.
Oh yeah, I guess
that's still happening.
They had a booth at TGS. I kind of stopped by. It was kind of cool. They had a cosplayer dressed as just like a generic character. You mean like one of the classes? Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say like all the weapons. Any of them were.
Tell you what.
I was gonna say I don't think any of the characters are that memorable.
Oh well, it wasn't even like one of the story characters. It's like a rando. It was like you basically. It was like a player character.
Like
yeah.
You.
Yeah, but they had at TGS they had like a wall of weapons, and it was all of the weapons from the classes. So that was kind of cool.
That's kind of cool.
I took a picture, but I didn't really stick around because there was nothing at the booth. It was just like a weird ass
Yeah, I mean, they're still working on just getting it out there.
It's not even out in English yet. It's still not out in English, actually.
No, it's by the end of this year, it should be out in, I want to say all Asian territories. But next year, whenever, because it got pushed back, should be out.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're not having, like every time I try to play, I don't really find that many people on the server. I kind of stopped because I had server issues. I would be playing and then I just could get logged out. And I'm like,
I wonder. I feel like did they lose this any momentum they had because it's taking them so long to get.
I feel like it is like some of the stuff I heard I would say last month I checked in a little bit, and it was just the fact that it seems like they don't know their player base was a thing that was happening. They were patching the wrong thing. Like they were patching stuff that didn't need patching, causing bugs, but then like ignoring what needed to be patched, kind of thing. I mean, I don't know. I feel like they've only had one event.
Oh,
which was
yeah,
like a summer
actually,
event. It was like a summer event.
I should check in on it, actually. I haven't checked it out in a while.
As long as every time I play the game, I ask, will I be able to log in? That's my first question. So that lets you know what's going on. Will I be able to stay logged in? But yeah, so that's Synduality. It says to 2023, but I'm pretty sure it got postponed to 2024.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, they had a little release somewhere. But anyways, that's Bandai Namco, what they're working on. And I'm still going to forget that 100 game, but I'll remember it eventually. There was, of course, the Activision Blizzard stuff finally cleared. Did you see the trailer?
What trailer? No.
They have a trailer, bro.
Why? Activision? It's technically, isn't it Activision Blizzard King? Technically?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Activision Blizzard King joins Xbox. They put out a 2-minute trailer with World of Warcraft, Master Chief, everybody, Crash, Spyro. Everyone's like, we're home.
That's kind of crazy, honestly. Like, now that Microsoft has, like, in their pocket, like, I would say like a pretty significant chunk of the Western gaming industry. I don't know what that means. Like, is Game Pass about to get lit or what?
So they've kind of said a couple of things. Number one, so this stuff is going to be coming to Game Pass probably next year. Call of Duty is not on that list in terms of...
No, because they have an agreement with Sony still.
Yeah, and Nintendo like that. So they've still got that. And I think Diablo, they've already gone on record and saying they're not going to be on Game Pass. At least for next year. Who knows about after next year? But they have got a crazy amount of IPs and characters. And everywhere I go, people everywhere I've gone so far, just to look at comments, just for the heck of it, it's like people bring back Prototype. I'm like, do you really want Prototype back? Is that really the one game you want back?
Yeah, why not? That's a Prototype 3, man. Let's see it.
Prototype. I was like, there's a reason that game isn't around anymore.
That's also, I think, they still make open world genres, but I think Mega 64 did a skit 10 plus years ago of making fun of all those games. They just called it Magic City Man.
Yeah, it was like him, that, and Infamous at that time.
Exactly, yeah. So Mega 64 is a skit. It's called Magic City Man, where it's just like a guy in a city with magical powers, and then that was a whole thing back in 2007,
2008, something. There was, so I didn't realize this, but Digital Realms would actually, the people who do Warframe, they were the guys that did Dark Sector. I didn't realize.
Oh yeah.
So apparently that there's the DLC or expansion that they're making now for Warframe actually goes all the way back to that, Dark Sector, which is once again another thing of magical possessed guy does something who's kind of they were always so moody too. They're
bring that genre back too. Bring that genre back. I miss that very much. That's funny.
So I mean, they have a lot of different games they can bring back. Or somebody was like, "Can I get a new Crash game?" I'm like, "You had one a couple years ago."
Yeah, there was one. There was one. Yeah, 2 years ago.
Sekiro was it was published by Activision, but they have the rights to it. I didn't realize that as well.
So they can sell it to a random ass developer to make Sekiro 2
if they want to, or just
it'd be so funny. They pick the most ill-suited developer for Sekiro 2.
But yeah, so I mean, it's kudos to them for taking up half the genre industry. Or whatever.
Kudos to Microsoft for throwing their money around. Yes,
for throwing that bank around. I looked, so there was this image I found, a graphic, and when you look at it, it literally mind missed me, because it's publishing. So Xbox First Party Studios Organization 1, Xbox Studios. Then it goes to cooperation, sharing, and roadmaps. The publishing arm. Bethesda publishing arm. The second one, Activision publishing arm.
Yeah.
Blizzard publishing arm. King publishing arm. 11
what is
studios.
Candy Crush? So funny.
Candy
Why
Crush
does
farming?
Microsoft
Look
own King now? What are you gonna do with Candy Crush, huh?
They're gonna make money from it.
They're gonna put it on. They're gonna put it on Windows. That's true, by the way. If you buy, I don't know if it still happens, but there was one point in time where if you bought a new Windows PC, it just came with Candy Crush. installed.
Well, now it's definitely coming installed everywhere. I mean, in terms of employees, they just got like 2,500 with King, 6,000 with Blizzard, 8,500 with Activision, on top of their 2,300 employees.
It's like so many.
They just gained, and there's so many studios. So I think what's cool is now I think they can relieve some of these studios from doing Call of Duty.
Yeah, I wonder if anyone's worried about getting laid off now or something like that.
I feel like that would be really bad image-wise for them. I don't think. I mean,
like maybe they'll wait a bit, but in like a year they'll be like, "You guys, we don't need whatever the fuck you're making," you know.
I mean, most of them are making Call of Duty. I mean, they've kind of put down what the studios do and what they're actually going to be working on, which is kind of cool for this roadmap that they posted up. It's just kind of insane that they have so many studios now. Like whatever they want to do, go ahead and do it.
Do they still have commitments? I know for to Sony for Call of Duty, but I truly wonder, like in the next 2-3 years, if every single game that's coming out of these guys not going to be on PlayStation. You know what I
mean? So I would imagine so.
Like,
so
if
Indiana Jones game, there's a Wolfenstein game that's like id, that's or Machine Games under Bethesda, and like I don't know, like a new Tony Hawk game. Do they just choose to be like, do we want to put this on Game Pass / everything? Or like for me, the only thing I thought about this, and apparently they own MLG now too. I didn't even realize. Yeah. It's just
I'm not sure that's still relevant in this day and age, but
it's just one of those things that's there. The thing that made me start thinking, like, you know what, Xbox? What if you just did a Sega?
Well, what do you mean?
Just stop making your box. I think.
Oh, just stop making an Xbox. You mean
it almost makes more sense if they just become
to be serviced. You know what? That's perfectly. I think that kind of make. I mean, how much money do they make off their fucking console, anyways? Like I don't know. That kind of makes sense, honestly.
They kind of gave up on their I mean, I don't want to say gave up on it. This is all for their console, but it's more so for Game Pass and
it's a service. Yeah.
And I feel like in terms of looking at this deal, if you want to talk about like the FTC or whatever, kind of approaching it like people being like, should they do it or should they not do it? If they were just a service, it would just mean that they were on everything.
Yeah.
You're on your PC, your Nintendo Switch, they're on everything. You're on your PlayStation.
I definitely feel like
no one would care.
They could go in two different directions with this many developers, Number one, they stop really making Xboxes and they just start raking in money from the gaming industry, right?
Yeah.
Or they really push it. They really like fucking pressure Sony and are like, fuck you, Sony. Like, we have all the games now, and then Sony's like, they would have to respond by buying Square, buying Sega, kind of thing.
I mean, that's essentially what we've kind of thought might happen. It seems like Square at least isn't going to go that way, and Capcom really wants to stay independent as well. They're doing very well by themselves.
Yeah, they are. I don't know what Sega would do. Like, what if anyone were to buy Sega? Yeah.
So Sega, if you look at the trends of Game Pass, all the deals that have been sewn up from the Japanese side are Sega and Bandai Namco.
It's Sega. It's true.
Sega, Bandai Namco.
Yeah.
But I don't think Xbox can buy anything else. That's great. At least not for 10 more, 20 more years.
And what would they buy? Like EA? Can you imagine? God damn, that'd be nuts.
Well, I mean, people were thinking Disney is about to buy EA, but
that'd be weird.
Life is strange. It's strange. But yeah, anyways, we got a new PS5. Speaking of Sony. Digital.
Yeah, they finally announced the Slim. I kind of woke up to the news, and then it's like PS5 Slim announced. Took a look at the pictures, and I was like,
I don't like it. Do you like it?
Do I like the Slim? It's fine. Here's what I think about the Slim is like traditionally the Slim, like, if you go from the PSX, I guess, or like the PlayStation to the PS1, the PS1 looks like a more refined, rounder. It's like so small too. Yeah, it's like it's got like rounded edges. And then from the PS2, we went to like basically mini
A
size
DVD case.
DVD case, yeah. And I think the biggest change in terms of fat to slim was PS3, right?
That entire George Foreman grill got shrunk down.
Yeah, it got shrunk down to kind of a more weird. What's the word? How to like just like
it's a weird stack.
Kind of like a concave kind of looking thing. Concave, convex. Which one is it?
Oh yeah, and they
vex. Yeah, convex.
Convex, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but the PS5 Slim just looks like a PS5. It's just smaller.
Sectioned
yeah.
off PS5. I mean,
it's kind of like if you uploaded a picture of a PS5 into Photoshop and was just like scale 80%, and then boom, that's what happened.
Put this. So the major change is that you can now, for the digital only edition, you can now add a disk drive to it.
Yes, exactly. So actually, I don't know if they'll confirm this, and maybe they will. People will confirm this in a month when it comes out. But if you can buy the optical drive separately for the digital edition, the kind of plate just pops off, and you kind of put it in and get a different plate. Mm-hmm. Turn it into like a normal PS5. Can you do the reverse that's
a good question. I imagine so, right?
Yeah. Like Sony might not sell the flat plate, I guess you want to call it that. But third parties might. You can get maybe like some third party company might sell you a flat side plate, and you can just like pop off your own optical drive and turn your PS5 Slim into a digital edition. I'm wondering if you can do that.
If they'll have like officially licensed third party.
I don't think Sony would officially license a thing like that, but if you can turn your digital edition into a normal edition by buying a drive from Sony, which will come with that side plate to accommodate that drive, a third party could just do the opposite. They'll sell you a side plate that's flat.
You can just have it a different design side plate kind of thing.
And you can just take your own drive off. It doesn't even need to be a different design. It'll just be a flat design. Like you just pop your drive off and then turn it into a digital edition. Because that makes sense from a cost perspective.
The question, like, why don't you just get the digital edition?
Here's the thing: the digital edition they're raising the price on the digital edition. It's still going to be cheaper than a normal PS5, but the gap in terms of the cost will close. Mm-hmm. And if you wanted to later down the line buy the optical drive, it will cost more than just buying the normal edition right off the bat.
Okay, so let's look at the price real quick. So the optical drive, at least in USD, is $79.99.
So $80.
So $80, and the overall for just USD if you're getting it with the drive, it's $499.99, which is what it costs now. I want to say
there's no change for the normal edition.
Then the digital edition is $449.99, which I assume is what $50 more than what it technically is now.
So if you later down the line buy that optical drive, you have now spent spent more than just buying the normal edition.
You have now spent more. That is, and I mean, I have a digital edition right now, and it's been like, it's so much better because I don't buy anything. I don't buy physical media. I don't buy any used games either. So it is to me, other than the height, because it's next to my computer tower, like I don't mind the size as much. It's not until I like take it out and probably try to put it in an entertainment center or something where I'm like,
it's like, because it's really big. Yeah,
freaking thing is huge.
It's like tall and also fat, so it's a weird shape. Yeah.
But I'm glad I did get mine now because like at least for a Japan, like the yen pricing, it's like
really bad,
66,000.
Yeah, almost. It'll be 70. It'd be like
almost 700.
It's almost
like
70,000 yen. Yeah,
it's crazy. And the digital edition is basically 600 or 60,000 yen. So, I mean, I'm glad I got what I got now. And also, it seems like the stand, this stand, they don't have a horizontal stand anymore. Like the PS5 stand that you get now in the box, it does horizontal and vertical.
It comes with one,
yeah, it does both. This one only does vertical.
So the vertical is a separate buy.
Yeah, the horizontal stand. Oh, sorry, the horizontal stand is included. Sorry,
is in the box, but you have to buy a vertical one separately.
You have to buy the vertical one for 30. Well, yeah, 30 USD.
Is your PS5 is it vertical or is it horizontal?
It's vertical.
Okay.
Yeah. I just have vertical.
Because like, I actually bought the vertical stand for the PS4 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, I've done that. I've gave Sony money to put my console up. Obviously, there's nothing stopping you. Honestly, if you imagine the PS4 Pro in your head, there's nothing stopping you from putting that thing vertical right now. But I bought the stand anyways. But yeah,
look at this. Look, I gotta say, this just looks ugly. I'm not gonna lie.
When it's horizontal.
Yeah, when it's horizontal,
it's got that because it has that weird gap kind of thing. Yeah,
I wish they would have just made it a.
It's a box, right?
A box. Just go ahead and make it a straight up box. I mean, we're not trying to win any fashion awards here. There's nothing changed on the inside.
I was hoping that to make the console even thinner, that they wouldn't use a slot loading drive and they just went with top loading.
Oh, similar to how they did in the past with the, I think PS3 did that.
The PS3 Super Slim and the PS2
Slim. Yeah. Those both did the slot.
It's like a top. It's like a top loader. Like you
just pop the hatch kind of thing and it goes.
You don't put your disc in and it just gets sucked in like a, I don't know, like a toaster or something. Like it just kind of goes like you lay the disc in. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
That would just make it that could make it like, I think that would make it smaller, honestly. But
well, somebody's going to enjoy this holiday season. It's 30% lighter, I think, or smaller. I'll have to actually look and see really quickly. Yeah, the volume has been reduced by more than 30%, the weight by 18%, and 24% compared to the previous models. So there you go. I think that's all, at least all I had in terms of like great news for Armored Core. Armored Core sold 2.8 million units worldwide. Armored Core 6, happy for that. Good stuff. Elden Ring apparently just takes it to the next level. And
how much did Elden Ring sell? Like a lot, right?
It was like 2.8 million. It was some million. It was some stupid. I can look it up really quick.
20 million. 20.5 million as of this year, like beginning of this year.
Oh yeah, Elden Ring was no joke. Fate Samurai Remnant sold at least 300,000 units worldwide.
That's pretty good.
That's actually really good. I'm not gonna lie. I was like,
yeah,
that game I was thinking about getting.
You get it still.
Doing pretty good. And we talked about this a little bit, but only one Wii U sold in 2023 thus far.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I don't know why either.
No, who bought a new one? Why not go to like, if it was in Japan, it makes more sense to just go to like a book off and then get a used one. But if it was outside of Japan, then maybe used game sales are harder to get. But I wonder if the guy was just like, man, I want to play a Wii U game, and then he had to buy a Wii U.
This is a new sealed,
like a new sealed Wii U. Yeah. So maybe there was like a game that's like only on Wii U, and he's like, man, I really want to play that game, and he had to like buy a new Wii U.
Well, I mean, like, so you can only play. I know Xenoblade Chronicles X.
That's Wii U only. Yeah,
it's Wii U only. So
but there you go. Maybe he wanted to play it. Maybe he fucking loved 3, and he's like, fuck, I gotta play more of this series.
Like maybe, yeah. You know, I do check to see if I can find Vitas now at my book off.
Oh, do you miss your Vita? Like, do you want one or?
No, I never owned a Vita, and they don't have.
You never had a Vita?
I never had a Vita. It was when I right when I came to Japan around that time I didn't have money to spend on.
You should get a Vita. You should get a Vita before they disappear entirely. Because
the only thing I want to play is Muramasa. That's it.
I was gonna say you can play it on the Wii, but you can play it on the Wii U because the Wii U is backwards compatible.
No, I'm not buying a Wii U.
You should buy a Wii U.
I do have a Wii. I do have my American Wii here. It's it's broken, so I can.
Oh, then just go to Book Off. Just go to Book Off and try to find a copy of Demon Blade. Then
I couldn't. Well, it's probably online somewhere. Somewhere.
Yeah, or find a way to get it on your console. Yeah.
Oh yeah, on those.
Yeah, that works too.
The other means.
Yeah, but no, it's a good game actually. Yeah, a great game. They should do a remaster of that. Oh, for
I
real.
keep thinking they'll do a remaster. I'm not really sure why they've remastered everything else.
Yeah, they did.
Almost everything,
What's that
yeah.
game called? What's that game called?
Which one, Odin Spear or the?
Yes, Odin Sphere. Yeah, and then they also did. Didn't they do a remaster of
the Witch something?
the one with the beat 'em up? What's it called?
Dragon's Crown?
Ah, yeah, Dragon's Crown. Yeah, it's like on PS4. It's on.
Oh yeah,
Dragon's
yeah. There was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that came out at the same time.
Dragon's Crown?
Yeah, Dragon's Crown for PS4 and Vita. I thought it was like a
No,
cross.
not at all. No.
Okay.
It was Vita and PS3, and then
okay, then the PS4. Okay.
and then PS4. But yeah,
I asked my friend. I was like, "Yeah, you want to play some Dragon's Crown co-op?" He was like, "I'm not a fan of the art." So I'm like, "Okay, well."
who doesn't like Vanillaware art? That man, yeah, vanilla art is so good.
Oh man! So I was like, "Okay, well, let's go play Atlas Fallen then." Anyways,
Yeah, you should. Yeah, Muramasa is an awesome game, man. You should try to play it eventually.
I got the itch for more action games. I play an action
Yeah,
game
dude.
every month. So,
Fuck,
anyways,
I sold my copy, and now I'm really upset.
time for you to go get another one.
Yeah, I have to go find it.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. You can find me at NinjaTrixta on Twitch, currently streaming Alan Wake, and we'll be streaming Lords of the Fallen. Come and check me out. Alex, where can they find you on Twitch?
Yeah, I'm on twitch.tv/root24, and I'm playing Sea of Stars right now, but I'll play something else. Probably Zero Running next month. But you should come check it out. Anyways, who knows what I'll be playing? Maybe I won't be playing any games. Maybe me eating pizza for 2 hours.
You got any horror games you're going to play this month?
Yeah, good question. No.
Bro, I played that, what is it? Welcome to Cologne?
Oh, yeah. How was that?
Bro, that was some scary stuff. It's only an hour,
bet.
but I got to say, it's like if Chilla's Arts had a better graphics engine.
Oh, so fucking terrifying then, yeah.
It was very terrifying at one
bet.
point.
Yeah.
I was like screaming at the monitor. So yeah, I'll be playing some more horror games this weekend, some FMV games. Maybe I'll go into Erica. That's technically
Yeah, that's a horror. Yeah, it's a horror game. Yeah, because it's so. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Chat has experienced the original horror.
Yeah, I was there
FMV.
for that. I
You
should
were
get
there.
I should get a T-shirt that says I was there for
I was
Erica.
there. You and Ehe. I was there for.
We're the OGs. The OGs. Oh, I'm not even gonna lie. I remember like tuning into your stream and really trying to I was like, I gotta do stuff. I can't watch this right now. I can't do this. I can't watch right now. But I couldn't stop. I just couldn't stop
You were
watching.
there to the end.
Oh man, something about that game. I was just like, why the fuck can't I stop watching this? What the hell?
It was so funny. That game was literally just why are we still here?
Yeah, why are we still doing this? What the fuck? Yeah,
we couldn't figure out why the girl was doing what she was doing, and then demonic cult, man. That's all it said.
I can't even remember. I was like trying to do something else, but then I was just like, because the story is just so wacky. I'm like, where is this going? I have to find out.
It seemed promising at first. It's the first time I ever played one of those FMV games. Now I've seen the breadth of them.
Yeah.
I've seen the best.
The best of the worst, yeah.
The best of the worst, the best of the best. So, anyways, that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next week for episode 182 of the Unknown Games Podcast, where you hopefully will not have to go to the bathroom. Think about that.
Ever for the rest of your life.
Ever. Can you imagine?
It's like a curse. It sounds like a curse. That's legitimately like a curse, yeah.
Freedom.
Freedom from toilets. You get an apartment with no toilet. You have a guest. You're like, where's your toilet? I don't have one.
Oh man. All right. We'll catch you next week.
All right. See you. Peace.
See you guys.